Hello, I'm Brent Bustard, an electronics engineering technology student at the New Brunswick Community College in St. John. I'm here today to talk to you about LED dot matrices, grid arrangements of lights that are used in everything from billboards to the smartphone you likely have on you right now. It would probably surprise most of you to hear that any display you see in your day-to-day life, be it a TV, a billboard, or the red scrolling text showing the latest specials outside your Subway restaurant, are all built on the same fundamental design principles. So, just to start off, what are LEDs and how do they work? LED stands for light emitting diode. An LED is a device that allows current to flow through it. This causes a chemical reaction inside the plastic bulb between two coated pieces of metal, creating light. LEDs come in all sorts of colors and sizes. A large display might use hundreds of super bright LEDs, while a computer uses thousands of extremely small LEDs to backlight the LCD screen. To use LEDs in a display, a matrix is required. An electronic matrix is a series of devices arranged in a grid. These devices are powered via columns and rows of wires connected to either side of the LEDs. When these columns and rows are electrified to create the right difference in voltage at the LED, it turns on, as seen in rows 1 and 2 under columns A and B. You may have noticed that the row and column method allows for blocks of lights to be activated. But how are individual lights targeted? Timing circuits are created with the help of microchips. These chips are hooked up to the rows and columns, and they cycle through the lights so quickly that only one row and whichever columns are needed activate at that time. This happens faster than the human eye can detect. Now that we know how to get such a dynamic range of pictures from simple LEDs, how does that translate to such a variety of displays? On the left is a scoreboard that would work as mentioned, but on the right is an LED TV. TVs and high-definition displays can operate via LEDs, liquid crystal displays, commonly known as LCDs, or both. Here's an example of an LCD display and its various layers. The ones we are concerned about are the backlight, the liquid crystal layer, and the color filter. The backlight can be an array of LEDs, a diffuser which has a light at the edge, or tubes spanning the length of the TV. But as we know, with LED TVs, specific areas of the screen can have their LED off, creating much greater contrast when black areas are required in the picture. Though not LEDs themselves, the liquid crystal layer and the color filter layer are controlled similarly. Timing circuits control what color gets through each pixel of a screen by activating the red, green, and blue cells to varying degrees. And the amount of light that gets through is determined by the liquid crystal and to what extent it is electrified and whether it lines up with a polarized layer closer to the surface of the screen. Getting back to LEDs themselves, when a display is composed of just LEDs that are meant to be visible on the surface, like those giant sport complex screens, they can be just one color, often red, or they can be full color display. This is achieved one of two ways. On the left we see the RGB LED, which can display any color, and on the right we see groups of red, blue, and green LEDs, which can be used like color filters by differing their brightnesses. So how does this all come together to make videos? We covered how the LEDs can activate fast enough to appear as an image, but that might seem a far-off comparison to the 4K resolution video we regularly see in this day and age. So how does it all work? Ones and zeros. Data transmission occurs so quickly and with such complexity that the on-off state, the required color, and required brightness of every single pixel on a screen is updated between 60 and 140 times per second with unimaginable accuracy. The way these values are updated is through strings of numbers for each brightness and color of every pixel, as well as the on-off state of the backlight. Typically, values between 0 and 255 are used as seen below, but higher definition sometimes uses more. A typical high-definition picture refreshing 60 times per second sends 12 million ones and zeros every second to keep your favorite show moving before your very eyes. So, in conclusion, I'd like to thank you for your time. I hope that the next time you sit down to watch a funny clip on YouTube or check out an episode of Game of Thrones, you think of the impact that a bunch of blinking lights has had on so many people. Thank you.